Jesse, bless you. Thank you so much for
God bless
coming.
you, Pastor.
Thank you for the opportunity to be together tonight so we can talk about Bible study time and Bible study thing. May God bless you. Thank you so much. So we will have a time of questions and interaction with Jesse. Jesse is one of our leader in the church in charge of our Sunday school, superintendent of our Sunday school classes, so also involved in our youth ministry. We are grateful to have such an asset to our in our church in the ministry. So we thank God for JC tonight for your time and the blessings. Pastor is
Thank you
just
for
excited
having
to
me.
have you tonight. Thank you so much.
I'm very excited and nervous.
You know it's always like that.
Yes.
Nobody like the mics, nobody like the light. There's so many lights
Yes.
surrounding us here, but this is the way it is. But
Yes.
you know why? It will be just fine.
Yes.
And I love this. Anyhow, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Here we will be talking again back to the very same topic theme that we started a few weeks ago. We talk about love. Love was the core of this Bible study that we cover a couple of weeks already. So we will be closing this particular theme today. Unfortunately, it's a great topic that cannot be just talk on a one day. Love is used. It's a big theme. It's a big topic.
profound.
It's very profound, Jesse. And to talk about this subject on a few weeks, on a few days, it's very, very difficult. And I pray that God will give us the grace to continue to explore this in a different setting. As we continue, I encourage you also to read and to research even more about this topic of love in the Bible. So, the few last weeks, JC, we have been talking about love. We define love, but the way we define love here, we went back to the Bible, taking 1 Corinthians chapter 13. We thought it was wise to just take that approach because the way the Apostle Paul approached this particular a message, it gives us a better understanding of the definition of love in such a way that it began to describe what is not love and then what is love. So those two, perspective of is with respect to love capture my attention to say, okay, we can see the great definition of love by just reading this.
Yes.
Jesse, most of the time, minister use this particular chapter for wedding purposes, when there's a wedding and you talk about First Corinthians chapter 13 and you begin to see love is this, love is that. But the way we did, we went through it and we just opened some of the very important points with respect to what is not love and what is love. That was what we covered a few weeks with respect to love. So today we want to talk about a subtopic, a subtitle of our message, which is simple as love.
Through action.
Love through actions. Jesse, this is what we'll be talking again tonight.
Yes.
Love through actions. Why are we trying to touch this subject in this manner? Because, Jesse, love is not just a word. It's not just a word that, we can convey to people and say it when we feel like. But your love is also an action word. It's a verb
Yes.
that need to be
Demonstrated.
demonstrated. I like that. So we come back and then we say to ourselves, listen, we want to now touch about love through action.
Yes.
Why? Because we can talk about love as we wish, as we want, as we may. But if we don't see the fruit, if that love is not tangible, it doesn't come to fruition, to fulfillment, it does not impact life, it is just word. Yeah, and then we were very cautious to make sure when we talk about love here, Jesse, we want to make sure that we define all the types of love. This is what we did on the past weeks. So we make sure that those types of love are well defined, so we may distinguish that from one another. You know what I mean?
Yes.
We don't want to talk just about love. You think, what love are you talking about?
Yes.
You see someone on the road will tell about love. Which one are you talking about?
Yes.
So we focus on a love that we believe that it is a sacrificial love, an unconditional love. Is a selfless love. It's not egocentric.
Yes.
That's why the love we focus on, because that is the divine love.
Yes.
The love called agapeo.
Agape love.
Agape love. I mean, the Greek, talking about agapeo, the agape love, that was the love that we talk about. But we also mentioned the Greek define so many kind of love to give us a better understanding of what exactly we're talking about. Because in English, they leave you with one thing. Say, love, love, and love, and love. We don't know which one. Whether you say it for some reason, whether you say it for some purpose, it's just love.
Yes.
So what we want to say to everybody here, our topic is based on the divine love, the agape love, because that is the source, Jesse. Once you have that love, it can produce any other
Yes.
in a relationship accordingly. For example, the storge, which is the love of affection. You have that. You give your affection. It can be also for unconditionally. It can also be conditionally.
Yes.
Some people love, they give you that affection equal to something else. And then we also have the philia, where you have a Philadelphia, a brotherly love. Philia, it's all about brotherly love. It's a friendship. It's a love of link with brotherly love.
David and Jonathan.
Yeah, David and Jonathan. And then you also have, Jesse, you have eros.
Yes.
The eros is actually more sexual. It's erotic, based on romantic. You say some people will say love. Which one are you talking about? Which one? Which one? Then you begin to understand by the action. The action begin to define. You say, this person was coming to me for eros. No, I gotta make sure I make him understand it's all about agape. So you're going that way. And then you have also ludus. It's a kind of playful, casual, and committed love. There's no really bond. We're just passing time. We're just being there in the name of so-called love. And then you have also pragma, a committed love. It can be a long-standing love. It can also last. And then we have what I want to talk about a little bit before I touch the love through action. It is the philautia. Philautia is a self-love. Love of yourself is focused on egocentric love. It's all about me, myself, and I. I love myself. I dress myself. I take care of my. It's all about me. You don't touch me. You don't talk bad about me. I'm who I am. It's about you. You kind of put yourself in that love whereby it becomes more you. More you and more what you want, what you are doing. It's all about self-love. What is self-love? Today, instead of being simple, a strong affection for another, this love is different. It's more about acceptance and tolerance. I want to be, accepted. You want to be who you are, just in a different setting where you place yourself. It's all about you. That's why tonight I said to myself, okay, I have to go to the Bible to find out, are there a place where I can read the love of, the philautia, the love of yourself, self-love. How can I know that? So I just struggle, I wrestle within myself and say, okay, I will read some Bible verse here. And then I come on to Mark chapter 12, verse 30 to 35. It's a great story, JC. I found that a great story. It's actually the conversation between Jesus and the scribe. Yeah, they're talking, and the man want to know more about love. But he came to him. He doesn't want to know more about love. He wants to know more about the commandment. Apparently, JC, the 10 was too much for him. He just say, okay, Jesus, can you compile it? Can you just make it small?
Yes.
Make it just small so we can carry the 10 commandments. It's too heavy. Every time I try to take the 10,
I can't do it.
I can't do it. Jesse, so he decided to go to the master, the right person.
Yes,
He said, you must be the one who sent this law. But listen, I want to know, tell me. Jesse, read with me Mark chapter 12, verse 30 to 35. And I love this as I read it myself. I was very excited. Can you please, if you don't, you may.
Problem. I'll read Mark 12, verse 30 from the New International Version.
That's good.
Love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind and with all your strength.
Yeah.
The second is this love your neighbor as yourself. There is no commitment greater than these.
You see, now, if you read even before that, 28, 29, the conversation starts from there. They're coming down and they're talking. But his focus is want to know the great commandment. But what I love about this story, Jesus began to show him the two commandments that matter.
Yes.
I say to myself, I thank this guy too, because what happened here, Jesus compiled all the 10 commandments on these two. He said, I know you cannot handle the 10, but just get the 2. It will keep you on the 10. The 2 make the 10.
Yes.
So the first one, Jesse, he said, love your God. How can you love your God? Well, you love your God.
From verse 30, from all of your heart.
All of your heart.
With all of your soul.
All of your soul.
All of your mind.
All of your mind.
And all of your strength.
All of your strength. So the love of God just is not just, I love God. We hear that lately.
Yes.
Everybody love God. Oh, I love my God. I love my, you hear that in the bus. You hear that everywhere. But there's no actions. They don't show up at church.
No.
They don't tithe. I mean, if you love God, look at your offering. Look at your tithes. But don't, it's a pastor. Just, pastor, be careful. No, be careful, Jesse. Tonight, I just want to drop it down quickly, and I'll come back to my message.
Yes.
What I mean by that here is the love of God is not just a word, that word that you're saying, I love God. Or I heard somebody say, Pastor, I love my God. Really? Where have you been for that God all this time? When he needed you?
Very good question.
Where have you been? Huh? It has been so long. You think God just waiting for that love from far, or you want that love in action?
We have a lot of egocentric love.
Egocentric,
Yes.
Jesse. You know what I love about the love of God? The love will express itself when it does not see the fruit.
Yes.
We have a lot of egocentric,
Yes.
and I like you said that, Jesse. Simple as because it become a language of the time. You know why? I love God. I love you. I love Lord. The Lord, I love you. But you put yourself in His place. If we cannot, He's too big to put ourselves in His place. But just for this, the sake of word here, you say you love God, but what are you doing to show Him you love Him?
Exactly.
What are you doing to show Him you love Him? Eh?
I think a lot of people don't think it requires any actions from themselves.
That is maybe the problem, Jesse. You see, that's what we're sharing. In any relation, every relationship, there must be a fruit. Any relationship that are linked to love. We are human. Let's talk. If somebody come and say, I love you, and I've never been there, you don't see the person, don't call, don't show up, but love. Really? You love me? You don't show up, you don't call? Where you been? What are you doing? There is nothing that are showing, linking the love that you have with him.
Yes.
You see, in that manner here. Here we see Jesus being, confronted. I say somebody came to him, and then he asked him question. But the second part is also deep. This is what I want to touch, Jesse.
Yes.
It's verse 31.
Yes.
And he say what? Verse 31?
The second is this: love your neighbor as yourself. There's no commandment greater than these.
The second it is love your neighbor as
yourself.
You understand now the self-love is already there.
Yes.
God knew that we love ourselves. Why? Because himself he poured in. Can I say that?
Yes.
It put in our life love. It give us the amount of, the quantity, if I get crazy here.
Sufficient love for ourselves.
I love that, Jesse. Say that again.
Sufficient
love. Thank you. It give us sufficient love and is expecting us, having that sufficient love, to give it also to others.
Yes.
And then when I was reading it, Jesse, I found it a little bit more deeper than I was expecting in terms of loving other like what?
Ourselves.
Ourselves. It means that if I will love other, I will do it just like I. And sometimes I'm afraid of reading this because it means that treat other.
Mm-hmm.
Treat other.
Yes.
You know, when you come out, suffer me to say that, particular woman, you know, you take extra care of yourself in a such a way that you want to be you. When I go out, I don't want anybody to tell me that something is on me, something wrong. You make yourself, you double check, and you even go back to the mirror to make sure. But Jesus said, listen, love your neighbor as yourself.
Yes.
So make sure that the way you want to be treated, also treat your neighbor.
Yes.
With all respect, with all love, with attention, extra care. I mean, even when you have to do anything, somebody say, Pastor, can I brush my neighbor's teeth? I don't ask you that, but if you can do that, it will be great if you do it to yourself.
If they can't do it themselves, why not?
Why not? Jesse? But here Jesus was just telling this man, he said, listen, those are the two things that are holding the entire 10 Commandments.
Yes.
The love of God and the love of your neighbor.
Yes.
And it began to show us that if you love God with all your mind, with all your strength, with all your heart, all your soul, it is difficult to don't serve him. Difficult to don't be there for him. Listen, Jesse, just go one by one. We will go quickly. Read just verse by verse. Look at, if you love, first, and you shall love.
You shall love the Lord with all of your heart, with all of your soul.
What do you understand by that? With all of your heart.
All of your
so
heart.
all my heart desires.
Yes.
It is
where your heart is
him.
Where your treasure is.
I know. Where's your heart? Where's the treasure? I love that. You know, you love him with all your heart. And then he did not stop there, because you know the heart we know. Some people say, my heart, I love God from all my heart. And then he went back, he went again, he said, with
all of your soul.
All your emotions, everything you're feeling, all that engage your soul. In our soul, we have all those dimensions, we have those conscience, we have inner conscience, we have the subconscious. All those things, he said, listen, your soul must love him. And then he talked about the heart. And some people say the heart means the spirit. But however, here he break it down to show us that your heart, your soul, and then also your mind, even when further, and then he say your strength. I love Jesus. So nobody will come back and say, Jesus, what do you say? He says soul, and did you say mind? And then he said, listen, heart, mind, heart, soul, mind, and strength. So love your God. And if you love your God with all your strength, you won't be, I'm tired.
No.
I'm very tired today. I cannot come to church because I'm so tired. I work so hard. I'm tired. And I understand. Of course, we're human. We will be tired somewhere and somehow. But listen to this. Jesus is saying, like, your strength. Because even when you're tired, you still have to watch a big TV. You still have to cook a big meal. You still have to wash dishes. You still have to do. So Jesus said, listen, no, with all your strength. So somewhere and somehow, we do have that strength.
Yes. It requires an action, a demonstration, your strength, a sacrifice.
I love this, Jesse. It required action, it required demonstration, and it required sacrifice. I love that. You preach it so well. Three-point sermon that just right there. Your soul, and then your sacrifice, your demonstration.
And
yeah,
I don't remember
actions. You give it so well anyhow. And then the second verse, that as we say, the 32, as he began, he continued to express, to speak to this man. And then he said, you shall love your neighbor. Love your neighbor. How can we love neighbor?
As yourself.
As yourself. So that's why the self-love,
egocentric.
Yeah, it's already in us. No one can say I don't love. Some people lately are saying Pastor, I feel like I don't love myself. That is the lie of Satan. God has put in us enough sufficient, I love that word, sufficient love that impacted our life and begin also to impact others. That's why when he realized that we have sufficient love, he said, love your neighbor as yourself. So you have enough for yourself and enough for others. So that's where you see when I talk about sufficient, the sacrificial, the love through actions, I touch a little bit of this. Simple, Jesse, because I realize that we kind of sometimes undermines that verse in terms of what is in us and what we should give to others. And if you don't understand that God already has poured up in your life the love that you need in order for you to engage, you will not give anybody else that love.
That's a very good point.
You understand, Jesse?
Yes.
Simple as the Bible said that. You know that the Bible says a man can only give according to the measurement.
Yes.
That was a sign was given to him. That John the Baptist.
Yes.
He's telling his disciple. He said, listen, they came to him that he said, hey, we saw the man that you baptized there. He's doing what you do. You know, that little bit of jealousy.
Yes.
Listen, he's doing good. He's doing just like you.
Yes.
We see another preacher in town. But then Jesus said something good. He said, listen, John
the Baptist,
he told them, he said, listen, a man can only give according to the measurement. That means God has put in us a sufficient of what we can deliver to others. Then I cannot give more than I have. So the self-love here, Jesse, as we cover it, before we touch the love through action, it is a love that we already have. Now we have to give.
Yes.
It should not be egocentric. It should be give to give.
Yes.
Give to pass on. That
Yes.
is the love we read from that. Those you shall love your neighbor. So tonight, suffer me to get a few more minutes. I know we're going to our second part shortly.
Yes.
The love through action. We say that.
Yes.
And then we say that it is a tangible love. It is a love that begin to be demonstrated. Why? Because just see, the love, agape love, it is a true love, a divine love. True love is not based on words. No, not based on words. It's not hypocritical deeds. No. The true love is based on truthful actions. You must demonstrate the action of that love. But what I love about this is to see that love being demonstrated by God himself, because God doesn't give us things that he doesn't do himself. No. He always gives us things that he already and then he said, I cannot give you more than you can handle. So God is giving us, he's telling us to do what he does.
Because he gave us sufficient love.
Sufficient love. I love that one, Jesse. You got me wild. He gave us sufficient love. But listen to this. John chapter 3, verse 16. You know, we know this verse. Some of us know it by heart.
Yes.
Sometimes we pass by the verse. Sometimes we talk about it. But let's read it quietly and then see something here. I want to really pay attention. Because we are talking about love through actions. And we will see that from God himself. It's demonstrated to us, the love through action. Can you please read with me John chapter 3, verse 16?
Yes. For God so loved the world.
Jesse, I want you to read it with a lot of
all of my strength.
All of your strength, not just the strength, with all of you.
All of me.
Because you already have a self-love. Just give it to God now.
Yes.
Can I hear you? Yeah, look at this.
So John 3:16.
Yeah.
For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only son.
I want to stop there quickly, Jesse. For God has so loved. You see? He loved and he did something. What God did?
He loved he gave his one and only son.
He gave his one. No, just one.
Only son.
Only son. You understand?
Yes.
So God even went further to show us that he did love us.
Yes.
And the scriptures say he loved us so much, but it don't stop there. It's not just word here, but it's pushing it again to say
he gave.
He gave.
Yes.
Love is sacrificial.
Yes.
Love, give, do not expect anything in return. And somebody say, I love you because you give me. I love you, so you go. No, that's not what we're talking about tonight here. For God has so loved the world, and he gave his only and
his one and only son.
One and only son. That we can stop there, because the other part we know, for whosoever believes shall not perish, but have an everlasting life. But the part we want to share tonight, we already see the actions. Can you see that?
Yes, he
And
gave.
he gave.
Yes.
I like that. You see, you cut a good verb. He loves and he gives.
Yes.
You know, what do you get from there, JC? Come on, now
I
you
see
gotta.
sacrificial.
Yeah,
Sacrificial.
sacrifice.
I see the sacrifice.
Yeah,
I see the actions
the
being
action
demonstrated.
demonstrated.
And oh, we spoke about three things.
Yeah, you
Yes.
did. But you give my 3-point sermon. It will come. But what I love about that, you touch the first point, Jesse, is the action.
The actions.
For because God love does not only believe or hope. No. But it does action that will make things that make things real.
Yes.
It's like the real
Palpable.
palpable. I love that word. Jesse, you're bringing me far tonight. Of sufficient and palpable. I love that. That's about youth. I love the youth. Youth have some good words.
Come on over. You.
I know. Come on over, youth. I tell you, Jesse, I love that. Love is not simple as feeling emotions. Because some people say, I love, whether they love God or they love people. It's so much feeling. Hey, some people will come with laughing. I love you. And then they stick, they hug you. But you know, the action are not there. You're probably, Tracy, I don't know if you heard this. They say love is a verb. You heard that?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, the verb must be conjugated. Can I
Yes.
say?
Yes.
Yeah. You have to demonstrate that.
Yes.
And then we read the first verb that I love in this chapter.
Gave.
Gave. Yeah.
Loved or gave? Gave.
No, love, give. Remember you said that not long ago. God loved the word and he
gave his one and only son.
So he gave his only a one and only son. So we're getting to our question time shortly. Our producer is telling us to get ready. But just let's just don't take it quickly like this.
Okay.
I want to touch a few points, Jesse. And I like the way you read it and you already break it. You see action, you see sacrifice, and then you see also that demonstration of love.
Yes.
Yeah?
The demonstration.
The demonstration. You see the demonstration. But what I love about this, Jesse, as we talk about love through action, we see that the love through action has nothing to do with self-love. No, has nothing to do with self-love. Exactly. Because we are giving.
Yes.
We are giving what need to be demonstrated. We are giving what to be need to be tangible, need to be quantified, qualified. We were giving what we need to see. The love through action is not a self-sacrificing love.
Yes.
No, it is a love that showing that the self-love is suppressed.
Yes.
If I may use the word,
yes.
Is put down.
Yes.
You kind of get down and you let the other come up.
Yes. Yes.
You just somebody say in French effacer. You kind of effacer yourself. You erase yourself.
Yes.
You erase yourself. I like that. And then you let other. You consider other. You promote other.
Yes.
And this is what we are trying to do. You know why? We want to see other do well.
Yes.
And that is the love.
Yes.
You clap when other do well. You appreciate when other do well.
Yes.
So you kind of say to yourself, you know why? I will do it for other. That is the love. And then if we want to see the love through action, you will see it when only it's not a self.
Yes.
Self-love.
We can kind of see that with John 3:16, with the verse that you gave, Mark 12, it's as if God did the same thing.
God did the same thing.
He did the same thing. So when he's telling the disciples, verse 30, when he said, with all of your mind, with all your soul, we don't really know what it took for him to give Jesus.
We don't know what it took, JC. I love that. I like the way you're leading it slowly to the point. We don't know how much it cost him. We don't know.
No.
Can you imagine a father, Jesse? I mean, I tell you, I'm a father. Every time you feel the pain of a child of yours, it's like you feel the pain. You know, they're in pain, but you're feeling that the pain are crossing from the child to you. And can you imagine the father seeing the son on the cross, dying from the people who already insult him, already forsake him, already reject him? Can you feel the love of that father? Instead of pouring the love to his son on the cross. He tore it down.
Yes.
Just to tell us that, you know what, it's not about me.
Yes.
It's about you.
Yes.
And going back to that, I appreciate, Jesse, you touched that again. Sometimes when you consider what God has done for us in terms of salvation, we should be more serious than we are.
Yes.
We should change our way.
Yes.
Yeah. The producer is telling us the question time, but we're getting there. So the second thing you need to know that make you see the love through action, it is when love is generous.
Yes.
You will see that person who carrying that agape love is not doing it because of him. Is giving, is reaching out, is supporting, is not selfish. Yes. It's not greedy.
Yes.
It's a real love.
It's a burden for them too.
I love this again, Jesse. Yes. You're throwing word. I'm getting that.
I'm getting inspired.
I'm telling you, you're getting inspired. It's a burden. I said, Jesse, you should come again. Promise you show up again next time. So here I understand this. It's about a burden.
Yes.
You are carrying that burden in your heart for someone, not a bad one, but to long to see good in someone, to see how to do good. That's why it bothers me sometimes, Jesse, to see people who think evil of others. You are waiting for somebody to suffer so you can clap. You are waiting for somebody to be down, then you can clap. You are waiting for somebody to just to suffer, and you're happy. Where is the love?
Yes.
Yes. But here, the true love, the love in action, I say it's not a self-love. It's not a self-love. It's a generous love. Not greedy. You're pouring to other. You are showing other. I want to read with me, if you don't mind.
Yes.
Quickly, Romans chapter 8, verse 38 to 39. I like this one here.
Romans chapter 8?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I want to talk about the next love, which is the next point is that the love that does not end. You know, somebody say, how you keep on loving this person? With all that he has done, the way he's living, the way he's acting, you still love that guy, you still love that lady girl. It's an unending love.
Yes.
That is what we're talking about. Through action, you continue to be, as you said not long ago, demonstrated.
Yes.
You continue to show the actions. Look at God loves us so much, and he said to us what? Romans chapter 8.
Verse 38.
Yeah.
For I am convinced that neither death nor life, neither angels nor demons, neither the present nor the future, nor any powers, neither height nor depth, nor anything else in all creation will be able to separate us from the love of God that is in Christ Jesus our Lord.
Can you get this? That is a love that means no matter what. We are looking for those kind of love that we lost. The church has not hold on those love. I love him because he's giving, he's paying, he's doing this, he's doing that. I love him because he has a big this, he has a big that place. I love him because he's supporting. I love him because he's always, no.
He's so kind to me.
He's so kind to me. Here, God will love us regardless. And the Apostle Paul talking to the Romans, he went very, very far to say, listen, let nothing deceive you.
Yes.
Let nothing lie to you. That the love that God has for you is more than you can imagine.
Yes.
It's greater than you can understand. Yes. It's powerful than you can hold.
Yes.
I love
profound.
It's profound. You keep on throwing words. It's profound. I love this, the love of God. Yes. And then he touched this point to say, not even angels.
Yes.
The being that are surrounding him, that are in his presence. Just if we see an angel today, we will all tremble here. Yes. One show up in the island of Patmos. You remember John he said, no, I'm just an angel. Yes. Don't bow down before me. So the angelical being cannot even come between us and God. Yes. God will say, no, not even them. They are here over full time. Yes. They work overtime, but no, you are important to me. Yes. Nothing can separate. Yes. And then he went the other side, said, not even demons.
Not even demons.
Not even demons. Not anything, no present, no future, no power, no ice, no death. and no else, nothing else in creation.
Yes.
Whoa. Shall separate us. You see, God loves us through actions.
Yes.
He showed us, he said, listen, not just that I love you, I'll show that I love you, not even angel will touch you. I show you that I love you, not even demon will approach you. I show that I love you, not even present anything in this time. That the love of God.
Yes.
You understand this, Jesse?
Yes.
And then to close here, the love of God, the love through action does not require that you pay me back. Somebody said there is no love. Oh, really? But you don't have that. The love that I'm missing is what you didn't bring.
Yeah. That's a very good point.
The love that I'm missing where you're going is what you did not bring.
Yes.
If you bring the love, it will click and connect and cling to the other love. It's like a magnet.
Yeah, like magnets. Magnetic.
I love Jesse helping me today. I love those words. It connect and connect again.
Yes.
So if you don't bring love, don't ask for it.
Yes.
What do you bring? Lately, if you have potluck, you have to bring something.
Yes.
Anybody have to bring something. If you don't bring anything, don't make some noise.
Exactly.
Just eat what they give you.
You take what they give.
Take what they give you. So with that being said, Jesse, we understand tonight that love in action have to be demonstrated.
Yes.
It have to show action.
Actions.
It have to produce a fruit.
Yes.
We need to see the tangible things.
Yes.
We need to see what is producing. In return, we are not expecting anything back.
Yes.
Yeah, this is what I may say. I think our time is totally gone. We have a few minutes just for questions. Please, would you take that?
We have some questions here.
Yeah.
The first question that we have is, how can we demonstrate love through actions? I believe you went through that.
I went through it. How can we demonstrate love through actions?
Yes.
It's a very good question. We can demonstrate love through action by acting accordingly, giving the best of ourselves. It's all about sacrificial love. That's how you begin to understand. You are giving something, not expecting anything in return. So you are giving the best of yourself in terms of sacrifice, and waiting nothing in return.
Waiting for nothing.
That is the first part to demonstrate love in action.
But how do you know if someone is demonstrating love? I've heard many people, or even I've seen in friendship, or even people that are married. One person is saying that I am showing you love, but they said there are different types of love. Some people it's acts of service that they recognize. Some people it's through. I can't remember all of the list, but sometimes people misunderstand your ways of showing love. So how can you assure that somebody else?
First of all, I'll say this, Jesse. Simple as this: in every relationship, whether is a marriage or any other friendship, the true love must be the agape, the unconditional love. You must reach to a point of love someone not because of any reason or any ties, anything that you want to get from the person. The first thing you have to know in a relationship, you must love that person because the person is created by God, is a creature of God, is special for God. It is God representative. It is the person that God created to represent him. Or represent him. So what I mean by that is, in every relationship, if the agape love is sitting in the right place, any other love will take place accordingly. For example, in the marriage, most of the time in a marriage, we do love our partner, of course, but there are sometimes something we are expecting in the name of love to get. In a relationship, in a marriage, for example, you will see the eros love begin to demonstrate because it's leading to romantic and other. But the true love, which is the agape love, will carry you. If you marry someone just for eros, when the person is sick, when the person is tired, when the person cannot, it will always create frustration because your focus of your love was not the agape, was eros, was linked to a need, linked to a something that you want to get. It was not unconditional love.
Yes.
When we love our partners, we love our wives. Vice versa. When you love in the boundary of marriage, you must know before that you are bringing agape love.
Yes.
The agape love, if it sit in the right place, will spread any other love.
Yes.
If I may say that.
So agape needs to be the foundation of any relationship or any friendship.
I love that, Jesse. You say it well, my daughter. Agape need to be the foundation. You need to begin to love people not because of what you're expecting in return. You'll be very disappointed.
Yes.
Every time you love for what you're expecting, you will fall short
yes.
of something, and then you will act different
yes,
because
very much
your
so.
love was not real.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll go on to the second question.
Yeah.
It says, how I do many things to show my wife that I love her, but it's never enough. How else can I demonstrate my love to her?
I love that. I do everything to demonstrate, and I love that word you use, demonstrate the love. It's another way. I'm putting my love in action,
yes.
but it's not just enough.
Yes.
And this is very tricky because, Jesse, remember, when you do your part, you do it accordingly. That means you do what God asks you to do. If you're giving to the other part the agape love, and that person is not taking the agape love as he's supposed to, that become another problem. Maybe blindness from the enemy, maybe hardened heart from the enemy, because what the enemy want disunity. He want to tear people apart. And many ways of, his way of doing things is to bring those kind of things in a relationship so he can make it weak. I would say to that person, the first thing you need to do is to pray God.
Yes.
Yeah. God, open that person, my wife, mind to understand the type of love that I'm convey to her. Because the risk of giving the person more than you're supposed to, in terms of giving, you may give her something to compromise.
Okay.
And if you give her something to compromise the word of God, you're off. So you will continue to show the person the sacrificial love. And if the person does not accept it, there's something wrong. Just like Jesus.
Yes.
God loved the world. He gave his only begotten son for whosoever believe shall not perish, but have
eternal life.
But if you continue, they say there are also those who reject him.
Yes.
In other words, it is you are trying to do your best. They did not take what you're offering.
Yes.
So in that case, it required two things. One, prayer. And the second, determination. You continue to press on doing the same thing because it will produce one day.
Yes.
That's what I may say.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the third question is, how can you show love to someone who is never satisfied? It kind of correlates.
It cannot correlate. I mean, that again, as I said in the beginning, we cannot please the world.
Yes.
We can only please God.
Yes.
As long as we please God, the other will be. The Bible says, if a man find a favor before God, in God, even the enemy will be in peace with. So you can only peace in the relationship, in a marriage, particularly marriage. It's a very, a challenging platform, if you allow me to say that, in terms of the attack of the enemy. The enemy always go after marriage purposely, because he knows from marriage the society will come. The society will spring. And life will come, he knows. Because of that, he always create a misunderstanding, problem, and just to create adversity and trouble in relationship. And sometimes we have to capture those. Most of the time, I may say, we need to capture those things very quick. When we realize that this is not right, it's unusual. Sometimes we don't in a relationship. We let things go. He's upset, I'm upset, I don't do this, we just let it go. And he keep on piling to the point where you cannot do anything else. But the things that you need to know, when you begin to see the real love not in place, you begin to pray, because God is the giver of love and the sustainer. He gives and sustains. Yeah, it's the God holding love, even in our heart. For us to love each other, the more we remain faithful to him, the better, the more we're getting from him, the more we're passing on. Yeah. Yeah, I would say that.
I do have a question in regards to that, because there are people, I think in the Christian community, we've heard about it. There are married couples that are going through abusive relationships, And I've heard at times I don't want to say but sometimes when people seek for counseling, they are encouraged to stay because of love and the covenant they've made with God. What can you advise to somebody that is currently going through that? They do love their spouse, but it is very hard to stay in that environment.
A very, very good question, Jesse. I tell you, there is so much, for me to say, hypocrisy, and we live a very marriage have become more, there's a lot of hypocrisy in the boundary of a marriage, just for the sake of being portrayed good outside, just being image, and that's killing so many marriages. I'll talk about the Christian because I'm a Christian. With all due respect I have for marriage and Christian community, but we have to understand that love is not evil. And the apostle, that's why we took 1 Corinthians chapter 13 to say what is not love. When evil began to take place in a relationship of so-called love, there is no love. Because love is not evil. If there is an abusive life, whether it's a physical abuse, verbal or other abuse, that is continually on the regular basis, even in the times to time, if it becomes a cycle of life that you're reliving in a relationship, you have to pause. You have to pause and first to look what the Bible said and be honest to the partner. It's not about being together in an abusive relationship. It's about being together and honoring God. God never sent anybody to go suffer in a relationship of abuse because Jesus was already abused on the cross.
Amen.
He suffered for us. They beat him, they chastised him, they spat on him, they did what they did. So not the church to be abused again. No. So in any relationship, Jesse, when you begin to see in a marriage that the abuse are taking place in a so-called love name, there is no love. Because the Apostle Paul gave us 1 Corinthians chapter 13, and he said so well, and I'll get just a few verses here quickly. I have it in front of me, 1 Corinthians chapter 13, and I tell you, the Apostle Paul is speaking here in verse, I tell you which one we may take. Love, and go back. He began to tell us what love is not. He said this. He said, verse 3. If I give away all I have, I give all I have, and if I deliver up my body to be burned, remember, I let myself be beaten and even be beaten to a place where they begin to tear me apart. They begin to, but I have no love. I gain nothing. Yeah. If I have no love, I gain nothing. So in a relationship of abuse, you begin to see those things. And then he continues. If you read, you even read, and he begin to say, he said here in verse 4, I'll read it again. Love is patient and kind. Love does not envy or boast. It is not, arrogant. I'm very sorry. It's not arrogant or rude. You see?
Yes.
If in a relationship you begin to see a rude partner, there's no love.
Yes.
There is no love. It does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice at wrongdoing.
Yes.
You see, to answer to your question,
yes.
every time you see in a relationship things of such, if you continue to enjoy it, you choose yourself.
Yes.
There is no love. There's no love to a partner. You don't need to be a sacrificial again for any love in terms of being on the cross. He went in the cross so you cannot be beaten anymore. Yes. He went in the cross on the cross so you cannot be, thank you so much. He went on the cross so you cannot suffer anymore.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes, I understand.
I like that, JC. Thanks so much. Any other questions so we can close? I think the producer give us some more minutes. Yeah.
I think we could take one more.
We have 5 more minutes.
5 more
Please,
minutes.
I'm sorry, my water just went all over. Yeah, that's good. That's okay. That's okay.
Well, when you said that, Pastor, I was thinking, well, how do you know then if you're in a marriage, sometimes you hear testimonies. You hear what people are saying. You understand that because of yourself, you know that I'm not perfect. This person also is not perfect. So I have to give room for each other to improve.
Yeah.
But how do you know when it's
very good question. I know you're wrestling within this question. Just let me listen to you.
Well, how do you know if that's too much in regards to, let's just say, because we gave the example of abuse.
Yeah.
I got hit once.
Yeah.
Okay. Do I accept it this time?
Yeah.
And then pray that this behavior will change by the Holy Spirit?
Yeah.
Or are there things that I should be doing otherwise? So when do you know when it's enough? Because if I use...
Very good question, Jesse. You know, there's a two-part of this answer that I'm trying to give you because you're giving me you're talking about a marriage of a Christian.
I am.
But in the marriage of a Christian, you have those who also marry an equal yoke. I mean, they marry someone because they think they will change the person as they go. And the Holy Ghost change their people. No, I will change the person. You know why? I will pray as we go, things will change. Those people who find themselves in such a relationship, the abuse is open because you know why? It's an unequal yoke. I don't condone or approve that, but I said it's an open concept where because of you don't have the same way of thinking, the same father. You are being fed by God and he's being fed by spirit, a different spirit. It is difficult to fix that directly. So you will be getting the burn and hoping things will change. But till when? Because sometimes it may be things that create suddenly an incident and act of a big nature where you will have no control. But what I would say, that is in the setting of the unequal yoke, is also in the setting of both Christian. Both Christian, maybe you fall short on your belief, the way you're believing in God. You're living not right. You change your way, you backslide, or you're living differently, you begin. Because it is difficult, Jesse, for a true born again in a relationship of a marriage to mistreat her partner. It's difficult because at the end of the day, you will be accountable to God. So you have to pray, you have to go. It is very difficult. And that one. The other thing, the Holy Ghost will never let you live like that if you are grounded to the Word of God. So what I will say in the relationship where a strife and pain and trouble, abuse begin, you have to begin yourself to evaluate your relationship. Because God give us also time to evaluate ourselves. You know, to check yourself. Come upon yourself. What am I doing? Where am I going? What am I gaining? What is going on? The problem today with a Christian community, the divorce word becomes something, it's evil. When we talk about divorce, it's evil. People, it's evil. Because they don't go, divorcee and those things. It become evil because we choose to make it evil. And I don't condone divorce myself in terms of divorce, but I have a room of any abusive relationship that are leading to danger. How can you keep two people playing with knife every night? How can you keep two people who are playing with, there's a lot of risk in the relationship that are pushing people slowly to make decisions. And as a pastor, as a leader, you need to begin to know, unfortunately, couples are also very, what I can say, they're very shelter. They don't want to.
Oh,
they don't
attached or connected?
No attached. I'm talking about they don't want to open up.
Oh,
no one will say come to pastor say because
private,
you know what?
Maybe.
A pastor know that you are beating your wife and you won't be in the prayer meeting next week. We will start putting you aside. You won't take responsibility in the church. That is not the case. But we need to speak when evil start taking place, because if you keep it, it will come out one way or the other. Because it's like you hiding something bad.
Yes.
So what I may say, if I will close here, thank you, the producers watching us. If I may close here, is just to say there is no love in an abusive relationship. Yes. No, because we read the Bible. It does not do evil, does not irritate, does not all those things the Apostle Paul say in 1 Corinthians chapter 13. What is not love is right there. And if you begin to see those things, you have to start to reconsider your way. I'm not saying pack your belonging, run away, but I'm just saying you start thinking, evaluate things here, and you start making wise decisions, and you have to talk. Yes. You have to talk to seek help. Yes. We don't want to seek help. We feel weak when we seek help. Yes. We feel tired when we seek help. We feel like we're losing, embarrassed. But help is there. There's a lot of help for those minor, and there's a confidential people in the church, pastors level, where they can deal with some stuff of a confidential nature. But you're not there to take abuse in the name of Christ. No, Christ did not take sin to take abuse in a relationship. And some people call it persecution. No, persecution, not a choice of being beaten to a point where, you can have faith. You wait until things change and keep on praying. But the problem is you have to find help. Seek help as you go. May the Lord bless you, Jesse. Thank you so much. I think we have some more questions, but we will leave it for the next time. And I look forward to have you again. I appreciate you coming. Thank you. I give thanks to God, I want to say, and thanking my producer and all those are behind the scene. So God bless you all, and may God continue to use you mightily for the sake of the kingdom. To our all audiences, we are grateful, our friends and family connected, for being there. Please share this. Connect with us. It's all about talking. We're talking, we're reading the Bible. It's the time to be home and put your glass of water, your coffee, and just be happy and enjoy. Yes. Remember, Jesse,
you must like on our YouTube channel and on our social media, Facebook. You can go on social media, Oaks, and like our page and connect with us through our Facebook page. Or you can also go on YouTube, Oaks of Righteousness. You can subscribe and click the like button for every video. We will appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Pastor Daniel D. Hele here, your humble servant with Jesse. We are grateful for you being with us. May the Lord